Hello, this is Aishwarya welcoming you all to a fresh new episode of Science Monitor, our weekly update on all that is happening in the field of science and technology in and around the country. How to visit heritage sites without traveling, how to become a nuclear scientist, and how to mitigate accidents at railway crossings with the help of satellites. We will explore answers to these fascinating questions in today's episode. But first, here are the headlines. DST to aid a virtual tour of heritage buildings will generate 3D printed models. Minimizing accidents at railway crossings, ISRO's new train tracking system. Science fusion, infusing scientific temper and excitement. How to pursue a career in nuclear science. And we will discuss about the snow-covered regions, the poles of the world, and explore why the ice sheets here are melting. If history interests you, but you are unable to visit all the historical heritage sites of the country, don't be disappointed. For now, you can take a virtual tour of these sites sitting right in the comfort of your homes. Yes, in order to aid the virtual tour of heritage buildings, the Department of Science and Technology is generating 3D printed models of these buildings. This will also include those buildings of which there are only little remains left. Let us see this report.
Hampi is one of the greatest examples of the ancient Indian history. Scattered here are the remains of the glorious Vijayanagar Empire that speak a volume about the craftsmanship of the 14th century. The site is famous for its temples, and visitors from all over the world come here to witness and experience their architectural grandeur. Now you can gain some experience from the comfort of your home through a new technique. A virtual walkthrough tour of a 3D print model of this World Heritage Site is ready and was exhibited for the first time in a recently held conference of the Department of Science and Technology.
This is one of our very ambitious and very important projects for which you have seen this. We have already done it for Hampi, and now in the next few weeks or few months from now, you will see that we are going to do it for many other places like Taj or maybe the Ghats in Varanasi, etc., etc.
With the support from the DST, the model has been prepared by Vizara Technologies Private Limited, who have replicated Hampi's famous temple and stone chariot with a 3D printer and virtual model technology. There is also an audio-visual system which introduces and narrates important details about the same area of the model, which is highlighted by a laser light on the screen.
यहाँ हम आपको ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस देना चाहते हैं जिसमें आप बिना वहाँ गए हुए उसी जगह को पूरी तरह से एक्सपीरियंस कर लें। तो उसके लिए अगर आपको ज़रूरत पड़े तो आप 3D मॉडल्स हम उसके बनाते हैं, उनको आप 3D प्रिंट करके हम सामने आपको दिखा सकते हैं। हो सकता है कि हम आपको पूरा वर्चुअल रियलिटी का एक एक्सपीरियंस दे दें 360 डिग्री, जैसे आप खड़े हैं किसी मंदिर के अंदर ही और वहीं आप उसको चारों तरफ से देख पा रहे हैं।
For the replication, first the computer models of the Hampi temples were designed with the help of their pictures and maps. Every detail of architecture and sculpture was taken care of while developing these models. Then the replicas were made with the help of a 3D printer. The technique can prepare replicas of any size.
You know, we took laser scans, multiple laser scans of the chariot as it exists today. These laser scans were registered into a point cloud, and a 3D model of the stone chariot was created. What you're seeing here is as it exists today, it had a top which has degraded over time, and research was conducted through which it was conjecturally reconstructed. So the top part is how we imagine it must have been many years back.
This virtual tour will also enable the viewers to see the original Hampi structures, which are now in ruins. With the help of the Department of Science and Technology, Wizara is contemplating to replicate the other ancient and historical sites as well. Through these virtual reality interfaces, everybody will get a chance to explore the ancient historical sites and monuments. Apart from this technique can also be used in other services like health and safety.
Accidents at human-free railway crossings are quite common in our country. According to reports, thousands of people lose their lives in such unfortunate accidents every year. Now, preventing this is the new satellite-based train tracking system developed by ISRO, which will provide timely warnings of approaching trains at the railway crossings where there are no human interventions. Take a look.
Accidents at the unmanned railway crossings often make headlines and result in the loss of precious lives. If we look at the data behind these accidents, there are around 29,000 railway crossings in India, out of which about 10,000 railway crossings are unmanned, and they are being used every day. To reduce the incidence of such accidents, Space Application Center of ISRO has developed a satellite-based on-site warning system for the Indian Railways. Under this, an audible alarm system is installed at the unmanned railway crossing, and loco trackers are used to get information about the train position in every 10 seconds.
Locomotive is say 2 kilometers or 1 kilometer away from the unmanned level crossing. What will happen is that location is always known of the locomotive. So when it is 2 kilometers away from the first nearest unmanned level crossing, a signal is sent from this Delhi Earth Station hub. So it will activate the audio-visual alarm, which is located at all the unmanned level crossing. The plan is to put these audio-visual alarms at all the unmanned level crossing. So they will be activated, and it will remain activated till the train crosses the unmanned level crossing up to say another 500 or 700 meters.
So all the data is received by the railway centers through navigational receivers, and when the approaching train is 2 kilometers away from the railway crossing, this alarm starts ringing and alerts the people about the approaching train. The system also alerts the driver of the train. This satellite-based system will not only play an important role in the prevention of accidents at such crossings, but also in tracking the trains in case of derailments or other accidents.
Of encouraging young students to pursue science and inspire scientific temper in them, Vigyan Prasar, like every year, conducted the Science Fusion Workshop. The workshop, organized from 15 to 22nd of May, saw enthusiastic participation of students from in and around Delhi. Here are some of the students sharing their experience of Science Fusion Workshop.
विज्ञान के मेले में मैं हो गया हैरान, खेल में सीखा मैंने बहुत सारा ज्ञान.
Similar type of thrill was seen in all students who took part in Vigyan Prasar's Science Fusion Workshop. Without burden of books, they learnt many important secrets of science through experiments and activities. This initiative of Vigyan Prasar began in the year 2015 in Delhi. Every year, they organize a week-long science workshop for students of class 6th to 10th.
जिसका उद्देश्य था कि बच्चों में मेथड ऑफ साइंस की प्रवृत्ति डेवलप की जाए, उनके सोचने का तरीका है वो वैज्ञानिक हो, और उनका जो लॉजिक करने की जो क्षमता है उसमें डेवलप की जाए, और उनका जो डिसीजन है वो फैक्ट बेस पे हो. तो इन सबको ध्यान में रखते हुए इस 7 दिन का प्रोग्राम निर्धारित किया गया. तरह तरह के एक्सपर्ट्स यहाँ पर बुलाए गए जो अपने सब्जेक्ट में माहिर थे.
The program was organized from 15th to 22nd of May, where approximately 70 children participated. Every day, along with departmental scientists and experts from different institutions, provided information about science to students in very interesting ways. They guided students through storytelling and experiments which made students love science.
Initially, when I was knowing that I have to come, I thought that it would be a boring workshop like other workshops. But on the first day, I got to know something new. I made a solar lamp, which was something interesting.
They taught us how to make a microscope, which was very cheap and everyone can afford it. It was only of ₹65.
It was very different from our classrooms which we study in our schools, as our teachers just tell us the methods, we read the books. But here we did all the things practically. We did all the things hands-on.
Children made many types of models with their hands and understood the science behind it. Science Fusion is an effort where children are sensitized through science learning activities. This initiative of Vigyan Pasar is a commendable step to develop scientific temperament in future generation.
ग्रास रूट लेवल इंस्पिरेशन बोलते हैं, ग्रास रूट लेवल पर उनको इंस्पायर करने के लिए हमने कोशिश कर रहे हैं इस प्रोग्राम द्वारा। बहुत ही जल्दी में ही इस तरह का प्रोग्राम बाकी शहर में भी, रूरल एरियाज में भी करने का हम प्रयत्न करेंगे।
At the end of the workshop, scientific kits and awards were distributed among the students to recognize their work. And now it is time for a very short break. We'll be back with more science news. Keep watching Science Monitor.
जयपुर घराने की एक मिसाल।
सीखने के बाद समझ में आया कि एक अजीब सी पूर्णता है उस घराने में।
कड़ी तपस्या, रियाज और गुरु शिष्य परंपरा की अनुयायी।
इतने स्ट्रिक्ट थे कि अगर 7:30 बजे क्लास शुरू हो रहा है तो गुरुजी खुद भी 10 मिनट पहले आएंगे, फिर तबले पर खुद बैठेंगे। हम सबको तब तक तैयार हो जाना है घुंघरू बांधकर, और अगर आप 1 मिनट भी लेट आ रहे हैं तो क्लास में नहीं आ सकते।
मिलिए शख्सियत इस बार गुरु प्रेरणा श्रीमाली से। शनिवार रात 10:30 बजे और रविवार शाम 4:30 बजे, सिर्फ राज्यसभा टीवी पर।
बठिंडा का किला मुबारक गोविंदगढ़ के नाम से मशहूर, ईंट का बना देश का सबसे पुराना और ऊंचा किला। किले के पूर्वी और उत्तरी छोर पर हैं 2 प्रवेश द्वार। इन द्वारों पर फूल पत्तियों और कलाकृतियों से हुआ है खूबसूरत श्रृंगार। किले के अंदर है एक खूबसूरत गुरुद्वारा और कई छोटे बड़े महल। इसी किले में दिल्ली की पहली महिला शासक रजिया सुल्तान को किया गया था कैद। 6वीं शताब्दी में बने इस किले में गुरु गोबिंद सिंह जी ने भी किया था विश्राम। कुषाण वंश के शासनकाल में राजा देव ने कराया था किला मुबारक का निर्माण।
पान में पुदीना देगा, नाक का नागिना देगा, चिकनी चमेली देखी चिकना कमीना देखा, चांद ने चिडर होके चीट किया तो सारे तारे बोले गिली गिली अक्खा।
अगर आप एक मुझे डा 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 कुछ अगर डॉट्स है तो उस पर एग्जैक्टली कहाँ पे कौन सा शब्द सही बैठेगा ताकि उसका मीटर निखर के आए, जो कंपोजर ने बनाया है उसका एक नैक है, वही मुझे करने में मजा आता है।
हवा के झोंके आज मौसमों से रूठ गए, गुलों की शोखियां जो भंवरे आके लूट।
जो मैं आज अपने गीतों में लिखता हूँ वो मैंने कहीं पढ़ के ऑब्जर्व नहीं किया है, वो मैंने सुन के ऑब्जर्व किया है। उन गीतों को सुन के वो मेरे सबकॉन्शियस में है। दोज आर माय टूल्स। नमस्कार, मैं हूँ अमिताभ भट्टाचार्य और मुझसे मिलिए प्रोग्राम गुफ्तगू में,
सिर्फ राज्यसभा टीवी पर।
राष्ट्रपति भवन का ताम्र गुंबद, आलीशान और बेजोड़। सांची के बौद्ध स्तूप से प्रभावित इस गुंबद की ऊंचाई बाकी इमारत से करीब 2 गुनी। 6 अप्रैल 1929 को बनकर हुआ तैयार। ये शानदार गुंबद राष्ट्रपति भवन की स्थापत्य कला और खूबसूरती को लगाता है चार चांद।
If science excites you and you are curious about the working of the world and eager to contribute to the society, nuclear science could be a good option. While the subject may first seem a little difficult to crack, the discipline is one which has an increasing scope worldwide. In our special career segment, today we will tell you how to pursue a career in nuclear science and which are some of the best institutions offering courses in nuclear science.
The world and everything visible and invisible in it is composed of millions of atomic and subatomic particles. These invisible units make up the universe and holds the key to its origin and the energy that drives it. The specialized branch of study that delves into this invisible atomic world to understand the nature, function and application of atomic particles is called the nuclear science. Generally, we relate nuclear science to weapons and warfare. But in today's world, nuclear science has a far bigger role to play. While nuclear engineering finds immense application in the energy sector, it also spans various other branches. Nuclear medicine focuses on developing special techniques for the diagnosis and treatment of diseases like cancer. Nuclear science also finds application in agriculture for management of fertilizer applications, creation of new varieties of crops, and pest control. The science is also used in food industries, pollution analysis, manufacture of machines and materials, in navigation beacons, checking wells of new gas and oil pipeline systems, etc. After studying science with physics till 12th, you can pursue nuclear science as a subject in graduation, post-graduation and PhD. Some of the reputed institutions offering courses in various aspects of nuclear science are as follows. The BARC Training School, Mumbai. Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics, Kolkata. Homi Bhabha National Institute, Mumbai. IITs at Bombay, Madras and Kanpur. School of Nuclear Energy, Gandhinagar. SRM University, Chennai. Manipal College of Allied Health Sciences. Amity Institute of Nuclear Science and Technology. Center for Nuclear Medicine, Punjab University. Delhi Technological University. And many other institutes across the country. On finishing the course, the prospects are many. One can either become a nuclear engineer, working in laboratories, plants, universities and government agencies, or a nuclear physicist, undertaking research in the public or private sector, or a nuclear medicine technologist in a leading medical institution.
Arctic and Antarctic, the snow-covered poles of the Earth. While the wide stretches of snow are incomparable in their beauty, they are also a great attraction to researchers who are studying geological process and life in extreme conditions. But for the last few years, we have seen a rising concern on the rapid melting of these snow stretches. Reason? Global warming. The melting ice has resulted in the increase in sea levels. A study by NASA indicates that since 1992, the sea levels in these areas have risen by 8 centimeters. But controversies exist, and while some researchers claim that the snow in poles are rapidly melting, there are also researchers who believe otherwise. In our segment In Focus, today we will explore these snow-covered poles and also investigate why the snow is melting in these areas.
Vast white deserts of ice.
The polar regions of the Earth indeed hold a mystical charm. Inhospitable and once inaccessible, the polar ice caps of Arctic and Antarctic, popular as North and South Poles, are today sites of major scientific experiments. These experiments range widely from biological studies on human psychology in extreme climates to anthropological studies on preserved fossils to, most importantly, environmental effects caused by global warming. In the recent years, many debates have cropped up around the melting of ice caps of the Arctic and Antarctic, which according to experts is caused by global warming. Mounting evidence suggests the melting of the ice caps, the most recent being a finding by a panel of researchers involved in NASA's long-term satellite imaging study. The study reveals that global sea levels have risen 8 centimeters since 1992, and researchers attribute this dramatic rise to the quickly melting polar ice sheets in response to warming temperatures. The finding comes from data and images collected using the satellite altimeters in the past 23 years. The data also reveals that sea level rising is not uniform, with some places showing more than 25 centimeter rise and other regions falling. NASA also predicts that the Greenland ice sheet, being warmer than the Antarctic ice sheet, could result in more serious melting, and since the late 1970s, the Arctic has lost an average of 20,800 square miles of ice an year. While scientists suggest that both poles are melting at an alarming rate because of rising temperatures, a group of experts also suggest that ice in the Antarctic is actually growing. While reasons are unknown, NASA data suggests that Antarctic has gained an average of 7,300 square miles since the late 1970s, and the experts yet are unaware as to how thick the ice really is, as they lack the means to measure it. While debates continue on the effects of global warming on the polar ice caps, it is indeed worrisome what could happen if the climate was to change. The Arctic and the Antarctic together contain about 75% of the world's fresh water, enough to raise sea level by over 75 meters, plunging many human settlements underwater. Not to mention the lost biodiversity in the form of polar animals like bears and penguins. Hence, it is crucial that we all work together to mitigate the dangerous effects of climate change.
That is all for today. We'll be back with fresh news stories on science and technology again next week. Till then, keep watching Rajya Sabha TV. Bye-bye.